We are just over 5 months away from the 2024 Illinois primary, so the House Ethics and Elections Committee held a hearing today on election security.
Illinois Capitol Bureau Chief Max Cotton explains what election officials are doing to protect our vote.
Illinois lawmakers have worked to make it easier to vote in recent years, and part of that effort includes a continued focus on election security.
As our electoral procedures continue to evolve, new threats evolve as well. New technologies, new processes, and new actors create new challenges to our system.
West, who chairs the House Ethics and Elections Committee, says right now our elections are safe. However, in 2016, Russian hackers did breach Illinois' election systems. Though State Board of Elections spokesperson Matt D. says no votes were affected, it changed how the state views cyber threats. In 2018, the agency created the Cyber Navigator program to help local elections officials defend, detect, and recover from cyber attacks.
Security has now become just part of the job. We're aware that it is a never-ending concern, and you have to be aware all the time.
As for what to do next, it's important to remember elections are decentralized. They're primarily run at the county level. County clerks from Fulton and Tazewell counties say they need help recruiting and retaining poll workers. That means money to increase their pay and laws strengthening protections against violence.
They are simplistic, easy things that can be done today, I think, on a bipartisan manner that would drastically improve security options throughout the state of Illinois.
And that was Max Cotton reporting. State Board of Elections officials plan to air public service announcements throughout next year addressing the vote by mail process.